Wow, wow, wow. Great timing. If anyone heard, the music cut out and then we came back into the game. So shout out to Pepper for sending that one up. It is difficult, all right? I don't want anyone saying, it's not that hard, blah, blah. Anyway, I am joined once again by Savage. Last game was pretty crazy. It was so back and forth. And, I think it was like one style against another. this time, it's not about style against another. It wasn't about seeing which one of these really closely matched teams is better than the other, because it's going to be Vitagen up against Black Lotus. Black Lotus in the SLE so far, they have proven themselves a worthy contender. But this time, they are up against the Goliath that is Vitagen, the reigning SLE champions. The team captained and led by Dutch. The team with Ant and Jomi in their squad. How are we looking for this game, Makers?
Yeah, both these squads being 4-2 so far in SLE, and I think that this is one of the games where the team record might be not fully telling the story about these matchup, because Vitagen definitely a massive favorite. I think going in this game. They have one of the most star-stacked teams in SLE. They are the reigning champions. They are often doubted to be the best team in SLE, and the power rankings. I think they were first in power rankings as well for most of the power rankings so far. So, yeah, massive favorites for them. But still, Black Lotus have shown up so far in these SLE games. So I'm excited to see what they can do. But yeah, the underdog story definitely for BLE here.
Yeah, underdog story indeed. And when it comes to this Black Lotus team, I think your key members are your solo lanes. And I think what I've seen from Gloomix and Missing Link is nothing but strong performances. And I can expect, regardless of the end result, they will have decent games. They will get in the damage. They will get in some kills on the board for themselves. So eyes on them. And Missing Link, I have seen some crazy plays on specific champions for him. So if he gets those, I can imagine he will pull through and do some good work. But yes, guys, the draft has already been done, so I believe we will be ready to just head straight into the action. Yeah, here we go, Mikas. Oh, look at this camera work.
Oh. Yeah, we having the God's view and of the game, we see already maybe some potential invades coming in here from the side of Vitagen, and Braum being one of the strongest level 1 champions, and the Q lands, but there is no follow-up, sadly.
Q lands from Decky, but members of Vitagen weren't there to supply some assistance, as I think for now it will just be a simple little tussle, as Braum will throw a Q into his face, but they will just back off. Crucially, I've already seen Jeremy is not on his signature Seraphine pick, and so far in the SLE, I've seen him get very hard pressured in lanes when he is not on the Seraphine. He's usually opted for the Caitlyn. I think I saw a Xayah once, but this game he has gone for the Ezreal, and a champion that I think has shown some really highlight performances in the SLE already. So keep your eyes on Jeremy, because usually when it comes to Vitagen, he's not, he's not your name on your lips when you're thinking of carries and your star performance. But I have a feeling, not on the Seraphine, not on an immobile champion like a Caitlyn, he's got a fantastic team composition around him to have a good performance, and I expect him to show up big this game.
Absolutely, and I just noticed we have a Silas in the top lane, one of your favorite champions to play, and in this game with Orianna ult, with Jarvan ult, with Gnar ult, I think that Silas has a lot of value if he can survive this early game against quite an oppressive champion with the Gnar.
Yeah, very oppressive, and more importantly, you hit the you mentioned the ultimates that the Silas can steal here. Gnar, Jarvan, Orianna, even the Rakan ultimate. This is a fantastic game for Silas, and this is the strength, this is the benefit of hosting a fantastic, versatile, powerful top laner in your roster. Silas top is not commonly picked because top laners just don't usually practice it, but a player like Ant, I can imagine this guy can play anything. You ask him to play a champion, he will very likely be able to pull it off, and pull it off very well for that matter. So he will take the Silas. He's got a fantastic game ahead of him here. He is up against Missing Link's Gnar, and what I've seen from this guy's Gnar are crazy engages, fantastic laning phases, but they haven't been against Ant, and this time around, he's up against the monster of the SLE.
The monster of SLE indeed, and Ant has shown such a massive tempo so far in his SLE career. He played the Ivern top lane. He is playing champions like Camille, like Jace, like this and that. This is just another pick in his champion Ocean. I think he was the first one to pick the new champion, the dog one. I don't even know its name.
Sure.
Yeah, and we see Dutch
wow.
coming
There's actually fights on two fronts here. Saros and Dutch is going to chase Oxyconey out of the river as the bot lane are fighting 2v2. Deki goes a little bit aggressive. He's forced to flash away. The combo landing from Saros as the damage has been dealt. The Black Lotus members are on the run. First blood going into the hands of Vitagen, and Dutch follows up. He is a versatile player himself. He takes over the Jarvan, secures a flag and drag. 2 kills on the board already for Vitagen.
What a play by SLE champion here, Dutch, getting the first kill, turning into the Jarvan, and then landing a beautiful flag and drag flash for to secure another kill there. Dutch popping off already.
Gosh, yeah, when it comes to top SLE junglers, this is the man you talk about, as I'll let you break down this team fight.
Yeah, we see lots of trading, lots of heavy trading coming in here so far, and I think the first blood actually went for the side of Black Lotus Esports, as Deki just flashes right in the front of the Gloomix here, but we see Dutch taking the Jarvan Ghost and going for a beautiful flash combo. It's great to see players that can pilot this Jarvan well. Such a basic champion, but can do so much. But actually, while we were replaying, there was a solo kill coming in top lane, and the monster of SLE is taken down.
Taken down as Ant is going to fall to the hands of Missing Link, and this is actually the second time I've seen Ant fall to a Gnar in the laning phase. I assume Ant will be able to shake this off with the experience and fantastic top laner he is, but nonetheless, commendments to Missing Link here. And as I said, the Black Lotus solo laners, they are the strong points of this Black Lotus squad. And Missing Link getting that solo kill onto Ant.
Yeah, I'm not sure how did it go down. Maybe it was some kind of a tower dive. Maybe it was just Gnar being an oppressive champion that can use the mini Gnar form to land a lot of damage, especially against a champion like a Silas that is not that strong in this early game top lane skirmishes. But yeah, well played for Missing Link, and it's not something I expected from him, but if Black Lotus Esports is going to take down Vitagen tonight, yeah, Missing Link just might be the thing that they need.
Might indeed, and I think, yeah, when it comes to, players that you want to show up against, Ant is going to be that guy. Putting in a good performance against him is as good as you are going to get it, but that's 10% of the work done, as Ant is a player that you cannot count out. He will come back into this game, and I can imagine once he hits that level 6, will put even more pressure onto Missing Link on the Gnar, as Dutch will put some attention onto this dragon, and without priority, without contest coming out from anyone, you can imagine this will go down.
Yeah, most likely it will. Dutch using the strong side for his team so far. Yeah, the bot lane being ahead and having the push advantage. Same goes for mid lane, and well played by, I think, yeah, one-time SLE MVP.
Yeah, one-time SLE MVP indeed. And one thing I actually wanted to talk about, there wasn't a pregame for this really, but yeah, one thing I wanted to touch on is that, and playing aggressive, missing out on the chains, but yeah. One thing I wanted to touch on, Saros against Gloomix, because this is, now, we have an Orianna Talia matchup, but in terms of stylistic matchups, this is an assassin player up against a control mage player. Unfortunately, he did go for the Orianna into Talia, so he didn't go for an assassin. As actually another play onto Ant, and he is sitting at 0 and 2 as Oxyconey and Missing Link partner up together to pressure out the top lane here.
Yeah, and going down again, this time off of the gank. And the combination between Gnar and Jarvan, very, very impressive, especially for a champion like the Silas that cannot get out of the Jarvan ultimate that easily. But yeah, as you said, a matchup of styles in mid lane. Gloomix here deciding to go to actually match Saros in his own gameplay, going mage for mage. Maybe we will see assassin for assassin in game 2.
Maybe we will, but I think the reason he's gone from mage into mage is, I'm assuming, I didn't see the draft order, but you don't really want to pick that assassin champion pool against Saros, but that's where you take into account preparation. I think Vitagen, they clearly have done their homework. They've clearly gone. When Gloomix has gone on these assassins, he's popped off pretty hard. I think the one criticism I have of Gloomix as a player is when it comes to laning and, in a way, farming, he is usually on the lower end of the farm numbers. And, this is by no means a bad matchup for Orianna, and he's already down in farm 9 minutes into the game. So, yeah, I think Vitagen, understand, you get this guy off an assassin, and he is a lot weaker than what he is on an assassin. So they make that adaptation, good preparation from them, and yeah, as I said, Saros already slowly building himself up a lead, and yeah, I think it'll be very good for the Talia going into the late game.
Actually, I want to talk meta for a little bit. There might be a play actually happening mid lane, but now looks like one. Maybe there will be Herald channeled here. But yeah, this Viego pick is starting to turn heads in SLE and gaining more and more popularity. Talk to me. How is Viego just that strong, or is SLE becoming a Viego place, Viego town?
Well, as you know, I'm going to stop myself there. Saros has actually found an E onto Gloomix. He's going to expend the flash. The shockwave only lands onto one, so probably won't do anything, as this play was to force the flash out of Gloomix. So, flash for nothing. So, overall, a good trade for Vitagen. But yes, Viego, a champion that has always had mixed thoughts, is missing Link and Anchor and going to fight 1v1 again. I called him Ank, my bad. Pretty cool name. Anyway, yeah, Viego, a champion that has mixed opinions. I think a lot of people feel like this Viego champion doesn't really do anything. A lot of people feel like it's OP, and I think the thing about the SLE is that a lot of players make silly mistakes. I think when it comes to champions that punish mistakes very well, Viego is near the top of the list. Like, you grab a reset, and that reset is on a Fed member, you take over a team fight. And especially when you're a player like Dutch, you're so experienced, you can almost guarantee that you're going to have the edge over your jungler player to player. So he's going to, take himself up Viego. And Dutch, a player who, in my opinion, in previous SLE split, you would usually see him on Sejuani, you'd usually see him on Jarvan as setup champion. But this time around, this split particularly, he is picking a lot more carry champions, and I think he, in previous splits, I think the jungle pool at the top of the SLE has always been very heavily contested. We've seen some amazing junglers play in the SLE. I'm talking about the likes of Rengo. I'm talking about the likes of Obsidian and before. I mean, I think he reached finals. It wasn't that praised in that split, but there's been other names to add to that list. Maybe when he was playing under Black Manta in his best form, he's now top laner, sadly, but yeah, these names are all top junglers, and when Dutch was competing up against these guys, he was sort of complying to the meta. He was conforming to what everyone else was doing. This time around, I think the jungle pool is much more heavily dominated by him, and he will look for more of those carry picks. As I talked a lot, as I realized, but we're going into a dragon dance. But keep your eyes on Saros. He's got access to Gloomix. Gloomix doesn't have a flash, and Gloomix getting focused on means that there's no shockwave in this fight. Jeremy picks up the first kill. The shockwave is big. Look at Blue. He's into the back line with the killer instinct. He's going to try and do as much damage as he can. Gloomix is taking up the dragon, so will be brought down to his knees. Saros has entered the fight. Blue's going to flash forward. Jeremy hits his face against the wall, but it's going to be the team fight win as Saros flags up to the back line and Black Lotus fall.
Yeah, huge team fight coming in here. Actually, it looked so good for Vitagen at the beginning, but yeah, we see here Gloomix. Actually, I think he landed a massive 3-man ultimate here, and we see Saros getting so much attention at the beginning. Oxyconic goes down, but the ultimate coming in here, clutch, saving the team fight for Black Lotus. If that ultimate does not hit, this team fight is an absolute wipe for the side of Vitagen, but yeah, back and forward trading. Overall, a win for Vitagen still, but yeah, great fight here.
Great fight indeed. As Saros playing that team fight very well is going to be the focus. But look at this mid laner. This man has been praised so much for his capabilities on control mages, and look at him staying safe in the fight, doing so much damage. He lands a 2-man combo, and the kills go over to Jomi. But nonetheless, it is Vitagen that find another pick on to the mid support of Black Lotus, and Vitagen in cruise control of this game already.
Oh, Saros is absolutely smurfing here with these rock fields, actually confusing the side of Black Lotus. It looked like they are so such a discomfort playing against this spell, and whenever they look like they're about to go for a mobility spell, yeah, the rocket field just cancels it, and that's gonna be Drake for Vitagen, second Drake of the game for him.
Second Drake indeed, and I think Black Lotus, a few strange decisions here. You know, you have a Jarvan on your team and you're playing against the Talias. I'm gonna have to stop my thought process here. It's missing Link, and is gonna dodge away from the Nora ultimate. Oxyconi is here and does have the flash available. He's going to try to use that to get away, but missing Link throws a rock in his face, and Ant is gonna go 0-3 in this game.
Yeah, the monster of SLE having a difficult game. Good that the second, the solo lane for Vitagen is having such a good game so far. But I'm very curious to see. So far, yes, Vitagen winning.
Speaking of, Dutch enters the bot lane, and like we said, Jomi is gonna be the focus point outside of his comfort. Seraphine 6-1 on the Ezreal. Vitagen looking so good here.
Yeah, Vitagen looking good, but I was about to say, I'm so curious to see what can Black Lotus Esports do once they get missing Link out of this lane. Once they can combine it with the Jarvan and in these teamfights with these Mega Gnaro ultimates. I think that's their only chance right now, as the Vitagen squad is dominating in the rest of the map.
I think the difficulty here for missing Link is once you do get into the rest of the game, yes, you are ahead, but how much further ahead is Saros and Jomi? Because, yes, missing Link, fantastic game. Look at the gold lead. How many top laners have been able to do this against someone like Ant? Not many. That list is very short. Unfortunately for Ant, missing Link is one of them, but unfortunately for him, Jomi, Saros, they are on so much gold right now. Trinity Force completed, Luden's Tempest completed for the Talia. There's only so much missing Link can do right now, but as you said, as soon as he enters the fight, keep your eyes on him, because a lot of Black Lotus's game relies on what he does in these fights.
Yeah, these rock fields have been huge for Soros so far.
Speaking of catchers, Blue has found himself between a rock and, well, Jomi's not a hard place.
Blonde place.
That's kind of sexual. Anyway, yeah. Blue died.
Yeah, definitely. Blue finding himself between Talia's rocks and Israel's skill shots. Very well done by Vitagen, punishing yet another misstep. And Black Lotus really needs to put some brakes on. They really need their Fed members to be there if they plan to fight. And another heavy trading in top lane. And I see Jarvan here as well. Yep, looks like they might go for the place eventually, but not just yet.
Yeah, heavy trading indeed. As speaking of heavy trading, Claros and that we mix world fighting bot lane, but yeah, I think if you're looking at this game, if anyone in the SLE competing is watching this game, the scary part is when you think of Vitagen, you're just like, you know, bot side kind of chills, and then Ant and Dutch just take over the game by themselves. This time around, Dutch is only 2-1, Ant is 0-3. And it's actually the bot side of Vitagen that are taking over. And this is a very scary sight to be watching if you are any other team in the SLE.
Yep, and it's going to be... I'm curious to see this Vitagen squad Exactly what you said. They usually play through their top side, and he usually gets so huge that he's not matchable. So this time a different approach from Vitagen. Soros is very fed again, but it's the seven of 11 of these kills are on Yomi, the all SLE AD carry of last season. Let's see what he can do. If he can give us another one of these great Israel performances in SLE, and yeah, it will be interesting to see Vitagen approaching this mid game.
Yeah, and Yomi, actually a player I want to kind of talk about, a player who has come under a lot of not criticism, but kind of this comment, this narrative of like, you're okay because you play Seraphine. And this is one of those games for Yomi to make that statement. I am 7-1 not playing Seraphine. I am carrying my team on the Ezreal. And this is where people might need to really seriously start putting respect on his name. There's a fight in bot lane. As once again, Fabian dies, and I have to notice a theme, right? The bot side of Black Lotus, they are just getting caught out left, right, center, walking into areas where they do not own any territory. It's like on Monopoly when you land on the, or you don't want to land on your friend's blue side when they own the property, right? You just lose so much money. And that's kind of what Black Lotus are doing in this game. They are stepping where they did not get an invitation to, and they are being punished very, very quickly.
Yeah, sole point for Vitagen here. They are compensating for top line being behind with so many kills in bot lane, and and I just love how it played out there. You said that Yomi is here proving that he's not just a Seraphine player, that he can carry on his own. And the moment you say it, instantly on the screen pops dominating. Just the timing there was perfect. Well played there by Yomi again.
Yeah, timing was there, and Yomi 8-1 on this Ezreal. And, you know, I keep saying this, but I have seen loads of comments thrown towards him like, you need to take off that Seraphine. That makes him so much more weaker as a player. But look at this game. What a statement coming out from him. And you're an AD carry that has come under criticisms and proven the haters wrong yourself. What does this mean for Yomi as a player and how he develops throughout the rest of the split?
I mean, there's not much more to develop for Yomi. He just has his own reputation because he's an unselfish player, and an unselfish player quite often gets his reputation to be like kind of a weak side players, to not be the main carries, to not deserve to be maybe winning these individual awards. But you have to put some respect on this player. He has a large champion pool. He's not only a Seraphine player. He can play great Ezreal, as we see here. His Caitlyn is very clean as well. He has a lot of champions he can play, and the fact that he just picks whatever is necessary for his team does not mean that he's a player that cannot play these carries, as we see this game. His top lane superstar is behind 0-3 on this Silas pick. Meanwhile, Yomi 8-1, putting on a show, telling every spectator that Vitagen is not a solo lane team. They are as dangerous from bot lane as anywhere else.
Very dangerous indeed. And I think what is interesting now is I think a lot of people will go into this thought process of like, hang on, we give them Seraphine, they will play for top side, and it goes crazy, right? We have banned the Seraphine, Yomi goes crazy. There are threats from all fronts. I'm talking about threats from all fronts. Gloomix is in the face of a 3-man dive, and he cannot do absolutely anything. As Vitagen, you have to say it, they are running away with this game.
Absolutely. Again, play after play, Vitagen is making plays away from Black Lotus Esports' top strong side. They are making making a single play around this Gnar, and that's where all of their gold is. And Missing Link going for another solo kill.
Missing Link once again getting a solo kill onto Ant. Talk about statement games coming up from Yomi. This is a statement game coming up from Missing Link, the immortalized top laner of Vitagen is being matched here. Saros is going to get jumped on by Oxyconi. Fabian's follow-up isn't good enough, but Saros winning out in the 1 versus 2. The final rock thrown in the face of the jungler of Black Lotus. Dutch now in the middle of a fight against Glumix, but the Weaver's Wall is going to go down. The shockwave lands onto Saros, but Glumix flashes into the waiting hands of the Viego. Saros is going to fall down to the hands of the Orianna, but Dutch, here he goes. How
Missing Link is here.
Orianna check is missing Link. The Fed member of Black Lotus has arrived. The Kaiser W is going to go wide as Blue isn't going to be able to secure that kill. Here comes the teleport, and the Kaiser ultimate is the one being stolen. Any CC lands, and that's going to be crucial. Missing Link lands a W onto 2. The 2-man ultimate against the wall, and now to 0 and 5. He is having a rough game, but the rest of Vitagen is trying to pull through for him as they are pushing down the mid lane turret. Jomi, 8 and 1, managed to get some stuff off the back end of that fight as the inhibitor falls down for Black Lotus.
What a fight. It took for so long, and we see, I think Missing Link even could have maybe channeled the TP a little bit quicker, but does want to recall first, and critically, they get the first kill. Massive shutdown, actually 900 gold going over to Glomix here. He will definitely spend that gold very well. This W by Kaiser misses, sadly, but yeah, for the side of Black Lotus Esports, but Missing Link knows how strong he is. It looks like a 2v3, and but yeah, he still goes for the play, gets more kills, and how much can one man do? He has dominated the laning phase against perceivably best player in SLE, and
yeah,
it's gonna be killed.
As we see, Saros has been jumped on. Oxyconi is going to secure that first kill. Ant has arrived, and he's going to try to do as much as he can. But here comes the reinforcements. The Vitagen team is here. Yomi, this is his time to shine. The damage comes. Watch the Ezreal do the damage. Ant gets his first kill. It's not ultimate against the wall from Missing. The follow-up comes in from Oxyconi. Ant brought down to 1 HP. He's going to pop the Zonias, and there's going to be a follow-up from Dutch onto the back line. He's going to take out the Kaiser. He survives to 1 HP. Missing Link is going to take him down, but he's going to fall. Vitagen win the fight in the end.
Missing Link is going absolutely 1v9. It is just not enough, and we see the beginning of this team fight. They quickly get Saros down, and it's a 4v5, but they quickly equalized as well. And the moment Missing Link got the Gnar ult, he goes for a 4-man. Beautiful ultimate, followed up by Oxyconi's flag and drag. Dutch is so close to going down. I believe if Dutch it's eliminated here, they do win the team fight. But the game of inches going out there. Missing Link almost carrying the team fight for this team.
Game of inches indeed, and you have to say, Missing Link, what a performance. But unfortunately, Dutch made so many plays. Yomi is too far ahead. There was so much that happened on the other side of the map. But you have to say, despite Black Lotus falling behind here and losing out on these team fights, Missing Link is putting in an absolute clinic. And when it comes to playing against the best of the best in the SLE, we have seen so many times the underdog story. You know, it's almost become a thing. The underdog story doesn't exist in the SLE, but this time around, Missing Link taking the fight to Ant. And yeah, Ant's right now having a rough game, but he is in a fight right now. Missing Link and Oxyconi together. Down goes Saros. That's the Talia against the Grain. And now Ant lands a fantastic 3-man ultimate against the wall. Fabian is coming here to support some of his teammates as the Rakan ultimate pairing up with the Shockwave is going to try and do as much as they can, but the Fed it is Dutch and Yomi. Look at these Ezreal Qs. Yomi looking like a prime Gumayushi in this game as Vitagen once again will win a team fight.
Yeah, we saw Missing Link with another great play, but this time finally Ant is here to answer the call, lands a beautiful Gnar ult of his own, and that turns around the team fight. Dutch after that getting more and more resets. This Viego is absolutely massive, and once Missing Link goes out,
massive
it's over.
Indeed, as the bot lane of Black Lotus are going to be focused. Oxyconi flag and drags, but in the middle of a soul take, so Dutch will dodge that out, and as you can see, Vitagen will wipe the Black Lotus team in this first game. Huge game.
Yep.
Nice.
It was a fun game. Yeah, definitely Black Lotus Esports coming in as a massive underdog against this powerhouse Vitagen team, but one player did not read the script. Missing Link dominating his lane opponent, the best player in SLE, and almost carrying his team. Was not enough. Did not get maybe enough support. Dutch played an amazing game. So I have to say it was a close one. It was a fun one. Yomi and Dutch combined for one of the biggest carry jumps for their side, and well played by Vitagen, taking the 1-0 win. And I think we're gonna be back after a small break.
Yes, we will indeed. Don't go anywhere. We will return for game 2 of this game. And I'm really excited to see, because Black Lotus, they definitely showed some individual strength, and specifically coming from Missing Link. So take a break for now. We will return very shortly for game 2.
Yep.
Oh, we touched chicks. Oh.
Yeah. There was
Anyway,
a metallic noise.
We did it again. Anyway, yeah, guys, we're back. The draft has been done. As you can see, the 2 team compositions on your screen, and instantly, what I've noticed, Ant has gone on an Ivan, a very common pick for him, and one of his cooks that he likes to do. But more importantly, first game, confidently went for the Silas into the gnaw. Missing link, kind of put him into the dirt. So Ant is going to be like, you know what, guys, you carry this game for me. I'm going to go on a supportive champion. Missing link, that first game, what a statement to make up against a player like Ant.
Definitely a highlight so far for Black Lotus Esports in this season. Yes, they are playing quite well, but Missing Link just dominating the top lane matchup. Again, I think Ant won the best top laner of the league last season. I think he's been touted as the best player in SLE right now in some of the articles. But this game, like, okay, a bad fourth games happens to everyone, but Missing Link definitely making a name for himself, and he's on the nod again. So we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, as you said, we all have bad games, but I think for some of the good players, you also always have good games. And Missing Link, every time I watch this man play, he is performing to a very high standard. And as you said in the articles, it was stated earlier, Missing Link was ranked number 3 as a top laner, as the 3rd best top laner in the league. And I think what he's trying to do here, he's trying to make that statement. I am not the 3rd best ranked top laner. You have just watched me play against the best top laner in the league, and this is what I can do. And this time around, he is up against an Ivan, so the challenge is even more difficult for him, because punishing an Ivan, and once again, yes, as you said, good players can have their off games, and Ant is one of those good players, so someone you still have to respect. And on this Ivan, there'll be so many less angles for Missing Link to punish, as as I said, top players are top players. They will always pull out good performances, and you can always rely on them. So Ant will go for the Ivan. But looking across the board, Jomi has revisited the Ezreal pick. Dutch has got himself that Xin Zhao pick. And I really like the Xin Zhao, and I'm not just being biased because he is one of 3 junglers that I can actually play. But I think Xin Zhao is really underrated, and I actually I really like how he works. And I'm not just saying that because he's Asian.
It's a very, very good pick here. Especially, I'm a big Misfortune player in my SLE career as well. And whenever I saw 2 champions being locked in against me, as when I played Misfortune, it was Xin Zhao and Gwen. I hated to play against these champions, and Xin Zhao here coming in with huge value for Vitagen. And I have to say another thing. Oh, but I might say it a little bit later.
Oh, yeah, as a Scuttle Crab contests, I'm going to throw it over to you to finish your sentence as Dr. Kearney backs off.
Yeah, you know how once team wins worlds, you kind of have a skin for every player, right? I think if the SLE would do the same, the skin for Vitagen in mid lane would be Swain, as Vitagen's mid laner. Ichi, I think it was his best performing champion in the last season in SLE. So yeah, Soros here saying a shout out for the fellow Vitagen mid laner, the SLE champion, and we get another Swain pick from Vitagen.
Another Swain pick indeed, and I think looking at Saros, a lot of people looking at this roster change were saying, is this a downgrade? Is this an upgrade from Ichi? Because Ichi was such a pivotal member of this Vitagen team. A lot of Vitagen members said he pulled the strings. Speaking of strings, Dutch is the man to do that, and he has arrived into the top lane. Missing Link, you were a star performer last game, but now you're up against the jungle superstar of the SLE, as you are able to flash for now. But once again, Dutch in the early and creating pressure. But yeah, Saros, is he an upgrade? Is he a downgrade? That was the question on everyone's mind coming into this new Vitagen roster. And personally, I think Saros has been so impressively, and specifically on these control mages. And a lot of people were saying, the downgrade comes in the team play. He won't be able to do what Ichi does for this team. But here on the Swain, last game on the Tally, I think he's showing, maybe not to the same level of cohesion and team play that Ichi provides, but he's definitely showing that here he earns his spot in this Vitagen team.
I mean, I have to say, Ichi, an SLE champion, a long-time performer, an SLE veteran. He has proven himself over 2 roles in SLE, and yeah, absolute star in his own. So far, Soros definitely having a big shoes to fill, substituting for Ichi, being a rookie himself. Soros has played very amazing back-to-back pentakills in that on that Tristana and an insane game, I believe, on Zerat as well. He has had a very impressive rookie season so far. But the thing that for him that is still lacking is that I think he sometimes gets caught. Sometimes gets
Yeah, well, speaking of getting caught, Fabian finds a pick onto the enemy turret, but he's brought to low HP as Oxycody didn't pull the trigger on the bandage toss, so they will just back off. But crucially, that Maokai flash is down, and I've noticed he hasn't opted for the Hex flash, so the threat of Maokai going in is diminished. As once again, Missing Link taking the fight to Ant on the Ivan this time, so will be a little bit more defensive. He does still have the flash available, but he's going to sidestep away from the North Southern Ant. He outplays his opponent this time around. As I said, star players will always have their moments, and Ant shows the underdog story in Missing Link's face, and he gets himself a solo kill back.
It looked so good for Missing Link there. I was about to say Missing Link continues the domination in top lane, but Ant uses the tower and gets his own first blood.
Yeah, it's his own as Dutch looking for... Oh.
Yep.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, 1-1.
1-1. That's fine. You know, the good thing though is Ant is on Ivan, so I don't. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know too much about Ivan top, but I don't think dying in lane is too much of a concern. You're still going to be able to do your job as a supportive pick, and well, I'm going to stop myself there as Gloomix and Dutch is going to encounter each other in the jungle. Keep your eyes on Octiconi because he is arriving in the wait. No jungler has access to their ultimate, but guess who does? It's Saros on the Swain, as he is going to pop the crows, and he's going to never move. Gloomix into his death. He gets support from Missing Link. Gloomix brought to his knees. Saros is going to finish him off with one last Q. Oxyconi on the run from Dutch, and with the support of Ant, he's going to be able to finish that off. Missing Link forced to jump away, and once again in this series, it is the mid jungle of Vitagen working together to make the plays.
Beautifully done there. Dutch looking a little bit in a sticky situation, but dodges both of Oxyconi's Mumu Qs to secure the teamfight win there. Early domination from Vitagen here.
Early domination indeed, and what that does is it opens up the Rift Herald access for them. And with that dragon not being started up by Black Lotus, you can imagine once they do this dragon, they will be able to head over down there. But crucially, Jomi alone in the bot lane, so Fabian will run down, and well, this Maokai doesn't have that many gap closers, so we'll not be able to find Jomi. But yeah, once again, Vitagen in the early game looking really good.
Yeah, looking very good indeed. Even in the top lane is looking much better this time. The bot lane is looking good as well. And Dutch making plays again. But this time, the first drake of the game will go for the side of Oxyconi. And it's a huge deal, actually, because Black Lotus Esports having drafted themselves quite a Bumbo combo heavy team. If they can stack up these drakes, they will force Vitagen to come into them, and the poke and maybe rotation advantages that this team has won't be that valuable anymore.
Yeah, it won't be that valuable anymore. But one thing I'm seeing on my mini-map is in a potential engage onto the bot lane. So Fabian will jump onto Deki. Deki throws out the Braum shield, but it's a bit early. Oxyconi uses the Curse of the Sad Mummy, but Deki is going to find some fancy feet, jump his way out of there, and he's going to escape. And personally, 3 versus 1 on the Braum. If the Braum doesn't die, that's looking pretty bad.
Yeah, good attempt by Black Lotus Esports, but Vitagen botline today is on fire, and they outplay this game. But this time, will Missing Link outplay Vitagen as well?
Yeah, Missing Link is going to try and jump away from Dutch. He doesn't have the Mega Gnar available, but Missing Link is going to bring Dutch very, very low. He is going to go back into mini form, doesn't have the teleport, so will try to... No, he won't try to stay. He will have to retreat for now. So plates will go over to Vitagen, but yeah, so no key abilities necessarily used there, but Dutch very, very close. And this is the value of the Ivan, being able to execute dives like this. And I think when you're thinking about Vitagen, the strength that Dutch has as a player, his ability to make these aggressive plays, and I think one word I would like to use for Dutch is confidence, and that comes with experience. I think one thing about competitive play is that if you are more confident than your opponent, you will often find advantages. And speaking of lack of confidence, Gloomix doesn't go for the Rise Ultimate onto Saros.
And it was a good decision.
Yeah, I think he would have died.
Yeah, Dutch was there to cover in time, and yeah, Saros there looking to bait it maybe a little bit, but yeah, we saw that Ant actually saving his star jungler with the well-timed shield. Missing Link almost outplaying the dive, the half dive coming in from Vitagen's side.
Yeah, almost. But the Ivan shield was able to keep Dutch alive and crucially keep Dutch's tempo up, as that sapling will get thrown. Fabian does have the flash, so we'll have to flash away. And one thing I've noticed, every time the camera is panned to Dutch, he is making aggressive play on the match. Speaking of aggressive players, once again, Missing Link and Ant entering into a fight. The Mega Gnar has timed out, so we'll go into mini, which means Ant will survive for now. The Daisy has been thrown out for defensive purposes, but I said every time the camera pans over to Dutch, he's doing something aggressive. Every time the camera pans over to top lane, there seems to be a fight breaking out there.
Yeah, these top laners ain't playing around, but Dutch is making another aggressive play.
Yeah, another aggressive play indeed, and this time it's onto the bot lane of Black Lotus. As you said, that Misfortune Ultimate does diddly squat against the Xin Zhao. As Deki, he's going to be brought to low HP. Blue is going to finish him off with the last auto attack. So, 1-for-1 for now, but keep your eyes on Saros. He has found a flank onto Gloomix, and with the backup of his team, Gloomix has flashed over into the waiting hands of the enemy team, so a bit suspicious for now. Gloomix doesn't have any escape tools as Saros is going to jump onto Oxyconey. Oxyconey does not have the Curse of the Sad Mummy. He's going to find a jump onto Blue, flashes forward, finishes him off with the Q as oh god, this fight just doesn't stop, and Saros' ultimate is going to time out for now, and the fight is over. Once again, Vitagen on the bot side winning out.
Yeah, it's interesting to see Missing Link actually does not pull the teleport to go down to the bot line. Maybe I think that was about to be an angle for that play, but yeah, Vitagen getting more advantages, and we saw how the matchup works out. Xin Zhao just ults and ignores the misfortune damage, and what can the Steady carry do?
Yeah, Gloomix gets the phase rush, so he's gonna fancy feet his way out of this 2 versus 1. Gets hit with another Braum stun, and Deki is actually gonna get a stun off here. Once again, Dutch has arrived to supply some backup to Jomi. Dutch playing aggressive, but Blue got himself a kill. He's got the Ghost Blade completed. Yomi and Dutch, you're gonna have to run away here, but Jomi jumps back in with the help of Dutch, and they're gonna finish off Fabian. Blue now in a fight, in a 1 versus 2. Deki is on the way, but Dutch is gonna finish him off before he gets there. And Vitagen once again winning out on the bot side.
They get baited into this, and Dutch's healing is way too much for Blue there to damage through. He's on this lethality misfortune, and once the burst is gone, there's not much damage coming out anymore. I have to acknowledge, well played by Yomi, baits the opponents, baits Black Lotus Esports, makes them interested enough. They feel like they can execute him and then maybe kill Dutch after, but it's just not enough. Well played by Vitagen, and as they are... Oh?
You know what? Whoa, can we take a minute? Saros, you are a very lovely man. I absolutely love the sportsmanship there. I think there was clear indication that he was disconnected, and You know, Saros, respects. You have my respects because I've seen many a times people will just be like, nah, get the kill. But yeah, walking away from that one, yeah. Saros, I love you, man. You're the best. Great stuff. Great. I love to see that. You love to see that.
Yeah, absolutely.
What Black Lotus would like to see is a touch in their jungle as Fabian is going to get jumped on by the Xin Zhao. The kill is going to be completed as he goes onto a rampage. And look at this setup here. And acting like a second jungler, and the pressure is too much. Saros, great sportsmanship, but it's coming to bite you in the arse. As Missing Link is going to shut you down. Funny.
Yeah. No good deed goes unpunished.
No good deed goes unpunished. You know the saying, nice guys finish last. Well, for Saros, it was a bit of a setback, but you definitely aren't finishing last because Vitagen in cruise control of this game right now. And Black Lotus, their star man in the top lane, Missing Link, is looking good in, well, I'm going to start myself as blue. There's no minion wave. You can't die. Says, I don't care. Deki is going to survive from the turret shots. Missing Link has teleported down to this fight, but you can't imagine he's got too many tools to do much here. Dutch playing so aggressive, so much confidence onto the star jungler of Vitagen as he is just going to push the wave in. And again, Vitagen, they pull off another tower dive. And look at this playstyle that they've adapted to here, and I haven't seen his CS counter go up in a while. He is just running around the map. I think he's taking jungle camps where he can, and he is supplying the support to his team on this Ivan pick.
Yeah, and I think he was the first one in SLE to start to play this. I think he's even to this day the only top laner to play the Ivern, at least as much as he has done, and yeah, if Vitagen is going for this pick, it is going to be in hands of Ant, as it's not necessarily one of Dutch's champion. And yeah, this top laner does not always need to shine. Sometimes he can play it for the team, and we see here connecting with his superstar jungler. Great game by Ant. Absolutely amazing rebound game for him, and so much better than last time.
Yeah, much better than last time, and I think this is one of the signs of a good and top player in his role in the league, is being able to bounce back from a rough game like that. I've seen many players come into the SLE, they have one rough game and they crumble under the pressure, but not a player like Ant. He's got so much experience under his belt. He's got a championship title under his name as well. So he's coming in this, and now he's readapting to the situation. He's gone for the Ivan, pairing up with Apex. Okay. Well, Mikus, I gotta go play Apex. No, I'm joking. As Missing Link is gonna jump forward aggressively onto Yomi. That's a two-man Mega Knot. Oxyconey has arrived. That's a two-man Curse of the Sad Moment. The ultimates are landing, but the exhaust is on Missing Link. Klubix has arrived with the Rise ultimate that shut down to Yomi as... What the hell was that? As he flashes into the opponents, is going to survive. As it's kind of like when Psyduck uses confusion and the enemy team doesn't really know what to do, so Ant is going to get the wave. But crucially, a shutdown goes into the hands of the Rise, and Vitagen, they make the mistake. But crucially, Missing Link makes the play. Oxyconey, Missing Link. We talk about jungle synergy. That's right there. But Dutch, look at him. He has arrived. He is 1 versus 3 currently. But here's the backup from the rest of his team. Fabian has popped the Maokai ultimate, and it's gonna land onto 2. But Dutch is still alive and healthy, playing with the Braum, playing with the Ivan. He's gonna jump forward. The Braum stun is going to land onto Fabian. Missing Link, what can you do? He lands another Mega Nara ultimate, and Klumix is gonna take up 2 kills. That takes down the top jungle of Vitagen. Another rock lands into the face of Deki, and Klumix, Missing Link, talk about synergy. They've got it right there. Black Lotus win out as a team fight.
Huge play by Black Lotus Esports. This is what I wanted to see last game. They need to make plays around their superstar top laner. Missing Link is the legend in making, and we see they just pull the trigger, get 2 people onto the Braum ult. Maybe a late cleanse there by Yomi, but we see so much damage coming in, even through the exhaust, and yeah, they get him. They almost get Ant here as well, but the continuation play is happening after that, and overall a huge team fight for Black Lotus Esports. It's just what they needed to bring back hope in this game.
Yeah, just what they needed. And talking about this game, Black Lotus taking the fight to the SLE champions. Vitagen, first game was completely dominant. Gloomix was a spectator. He is now on a 2-item rise with 4 kills. And talking about star players, Saros, you are in the face of Missing Link as the Mega Gnar goes against the wall, takes down the Swain mascot of Vitagen. Now we have a dragon dance for this Cloud Dragon. The Misfortune ultimate is going to go down, but it's just a zoning tool for now. Oxyconey lands a bandage toss onto Dutch, but that's only one member. The Curse of the Sad Mummy is still yet to be used. He unfortunately misses out on another bandage toss, so there won't be a follow-up from Black Lotus. They do get themselves out over there. The evacuation is complete, and Black Lotus, they crucially don't find the engages. And wait, did the dragon go to?
Dutch stole it. Dutch stole it.
Oh, Jesus! Black Lotus! Not your name over it.
I have to say, yeah, we see the first solo kill going down in the top side, but critically, Missing Link is not here. He's recalling right now. He's saying to his team, I will TP, but Touch goes in, takes the dragon away from Oxyconey, gets out of the team fight as well, flashes over the wall, and yeah, nothing that they can do. They get a sideline victory, but Dutch the Thief takes the dragon.
Dutch the Thief indeed, and as you can see, I think Black Lotus showing a little bit of inexperience there. How easy would this fight have been? You reset the dragon, you wait for Missing Link to teleport into the fight. That dragon is yours, that fight is yours. Done and dusted. It was a 5 versus 4. Unfortunately, Black Lotus keep the dragon leashed. They keep doing damage to the dragon. Dutch comes in, and against a jungler like this man, you cannot make that sort of error. You cannot pull out a 50-50, because most of the time against him, it's not a 50-50. He will very much win those fights, and yeah, unfortunately, they do drop the ball, and crucially, their second dragon of the game will go into the hands of Vitagen, and the last few phases of play did not go in their favor. A couple people dying 1v1 to Missing Link. A team fight in the river not going in their favor. And speaking of things not going in their favor, and once again, he had a decent game coming back into this, but he's been caught twice in a row now, and there's going to be access potential to the Baron buff here, as Missing Link once again making the plays.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, together with Missing Link, Black Lotus Esports is such a different team. As long as they can keep him around the team, they have all the chances they want to win this game. Meanwhile, this game will definitely not look good in the KDA scores.
Yeah, definitely
these games,
not.
I guess.
Yeah, definitely not. As Ant 1-3, but the game is not over. We haven't had necessarily a straight up 5v5. If Vitagen were to win this, I'm sure he'll rack up those assists and fix that KDA. As
That's true.
Yep, you know the thing about Ivan, you drop a shield, you recall, you'll get the assist. I'm joking. I'm sure Ant won't do that. He will very much likely participate in the fight, and that's the thing about the Ivan. You can fall behind in the early game. You can make these mistakes. And you will still be able to provide some form of utility to your team. He still can pop the Daisy. He can still shield up the carries. And speaking of carries, one member of this Vitagen team that has had a stellar series so far, well, 2 members, is Dutch and Yomi. First game around, it was actually these 2 that were putting in those big damage numbers, those big kill numbers. Those KDAs were looking good. And once again, it is those 2 putting in great performances. Oh, Oxyconey, that does not belong to you, as he walks right into Dutch. He does have Curse of the Sad Mummy. Look at the roam walk. Gloomix has arrived to the scene. He is also quite strong in this moment in time. Missing Link is going to land a 2-man not ultimate against the wall. Gloomix is going to flash over the wall and follow through, but that's a flashless rise now, stuck between 3 members. Jeremy is a fed man. Saros is going to play some decoy as he's going to buy some time in the enemy back line. Saros actually surviving. This is a Vitagen classic. The Swain playing deterrence against the black line of Black Lotus, as Missing Link is going to have to blast cone himself to safety. Blue under pressure now. Saros knows exactly where he is, and he's gonna pursue. He's gonna chase down the Misfortune. He's gonna try to get away using the movement speed. That's a Rylai's Q, and Blue is gonna be brought to his knees, and this time around it was Saros carrying the team fight.
I have to say, it looked so good for Black Lotus Esports at the beginning of the fight, but a little bit of miscommunication from them. Gloomix flashes over the wall, and we see here missing link with the team, and that's the critical thing they need. They'll jump on two of these members. They get touch, and they almost get Decky here as well. But yeah, Gloomix and Oxyconey just splitting themselves apart. If they stay with the team, they surely kill this Swain, but yeah, not going to be. And the Baron goes out for Vitagen as well.
Yeah, team fight win, and the decisiveness of Vitagen means that they will secure themselves the Baron buff. But crucially, there is a dragon spawning. If Vitagen secure this is Dragon Soul, so you can see the Black Lotus members will be prioritizing this.
I mean, they have to go for something, and missing link is this time with the team again. If they can play these team fights out coordinated, they have all the chances, and yeah, they get the dragon as well.
They get the dragon indeed, so that's going to stop the soul take from Vitagen. But yeah, potentially, as you see, the Black Lotus members will path aggressively towards the push of Vitagen, but they will respectfully enter out through the top side. And at the moment, yeah, objectives are even, but you have to feel Vitagen are very much in control of this game. And it's like, yeah, as I said in the pre-game, the Black Lotus solo laners, they are the focus. They are the strong points of this team. Gloomix, 4 and 3 on the rise. He's got 2.5 items completed. Missing Link having the series of his life here on the Gnar. These guys are the strong points. And if Oxyconey can land a big curse of that sad mummy, there will be a follow-up damage, and this is where Black Lotus can potentially win out in the game. But, you know, as I said, this is my criticism of Gloomix. The farm numbers very, very low, especially when you're playing Rise into a Swain, as he's actually going to try and find a angle onto Saros. Look at the damage already coming out from the Rise, as Gloomix will have to be careful here. He has spotted out Dutch on the side and going to use a defensive roam up to get away. But look, the Vitagen members have started a fight onto Fabian, and he's going to have to flash away. The Vitagen members will hang around for now, but flash blown from that Maokai once again.
Yeah, and critically, missing link is not here, and Vitagen actually recognizes it, and they're like, okay, Gnar's not here, how about we just walk around, take whatever we want? They can't do anything around, even with Gloomix dealing quite a lot of damage. They still do need their star top laner. Meanwhile, on the sideline, missing link actually got the turret for himself as well, so overall, 1-for-1 trade over the map. Not that bad for Black Lotus Esports.
No, not that bad. And this is the threat that Missing Link poses. He is a side lane monster, but when your monster's on the side lane, you have to be careful on your main lane, as Oxyconey is going to be brought to his knees. Dutch is pushing forward. The kill credit goes to Jomi, and that means a 3 versus 4 in this side lane. Missing Link, you are too essential to this team, as Vitagen will continue the push.
They are, and they will surely take out this...
Gloomix is going to get jumped on. The bullet time is being thrown down, but as you said, against Xin Zhao, it doesn't do anything. Dutch, he's going to flash forward onto Fabian, and he's going to secure a kill onto Blue. He's brought to low HP. The teleport comes in. That's going to be Saros teleporting into the fight. Jeremy reaches onto the enemy turret. The inhibitor is going to be the focus from Dutch and Decky, but look at Saros. He is doing some work in the back line. Missing Link going to get the Mega Gnar, but Saros is too tanky on the Swain, getting the shield from the Ivan. Fabian on the run into the top side. That's going to be Vitagen pushing down the base. That is 2 members going down. Oxyconey has respawned into the fight, but it's going to be the mid lane focus now for Vitagen.
Yes, indeed. Vitagen just abuses the fact that Missing Link is not here, and Black Lotus Esports cannot wait for their top laner to join in with them, and they get punished. And Dutch is doing so much by getting these picks happening, and yeah, with the support of Ant, with Ant saving his KDA over these team fights, it's just too much for Black Lotus to handle.
Yeah, too much indeed. But speaking of being able to handle, Dutch is caught on his wand, and he's up against 4 members of Black Lotus. That's the star jungler down. The chase onto Jomi. The Mega Gnar is going to push him against the wall. Here comes the Redemption to try and provide some support. The reverse airstrike will kill Jomi back to full HP. As yeah, once again, that's the value of the Ivan. You can buy these supportive items and provide the support to your team. Unfortunately for Vitagen, Dutch goes down, so the shutdown down will be picked up by Black Lotus, and a shining light at the end of the dark tunnel there.
Yeah, a little bit of a shining light. They get 1 kill. I think it was even a shutdown on the Dutchie there, but they need so much more of these. And with 2 inhibitor turrets, inhibitors actually, not even the turrets, being taken down already, they're up for a tall task, and they really do need Missing Link in these team fights. And yeah, maybe they can make the miracle happen. But right now, about to be 8,000 gold lead, and difficult game for Black Lotus Esports to come back in.
Yeah, very tough game indeed. And I think just looking at the grand scheme of things, yes, your solo laners are looking very, very strong in terms of the kill numbers. But my beautiful producer, if you could hit the gold differentials, as you can see, 4 kills on the rise, but you're almost 2,000 gold behind your lane opponent just off of farm. And guys, this is the value of a key fundamental in the game. Gloomix, a fantastic mechanical player, but I can imagine once he starts working on those fundamentals, he will become an SLE great. But for now, Saros almost 100 CS up on his opponent here, and Vitagen will find themselves aggressively in the enemy jungle.
Yeah, they are doing the right thing. Grouping up, or the only turret missing right now. There's also some neutral objectives up with the Baron and with the Dragon, but they recognize the fact that with the inhibitors down, they can make this play indeed. And yeah, Missing Link has the Mega Gnar going out, and right now Vitagen is in an absolute safety moment.
Yeah, that's the main engage from Black Lotus down, and we speak about the Missing Link. The missing Tara is this top lane Tara.
Saros?
Saros is going to get caught on by members of Black Lotus. There is no Xinjiang ultimate for the Swain, as the shutdown already goes over to Glimmers. Could this be the fight that they win? Oxyconey, that's not your job to kill the enemy support. Look for an engage. There's a 3-man Curse of the Sand Mummy available for you, but you're not going to find it. Dutch, he's going to jump in onto the members of Black Lotus. Missing Link, Nora's members against the wall, but he is brought down. Jeremy goes onto a rampage. There is going to be an extra fight. Vance at the front line of Vitagen, but now Dutch is going to supply some damage as he takes down Fabian. Oxyconey jumps in, but it's too little. It's too late. Blue is the only one surviving. Triple kill in for Jeremy, and you can imagine Vitagen will push through the base.
Yeah, we saw such a good team fight beginning for the side of Black Lotus Esports, but yeah, the scaling, the Ivern moment happened, and just too much healing coming in from this group. Beautifully balanced champion. Too much healing, too much shielding. Beautiful game by Vitagen. Bouncing back, Missing Link trying his best, but not today. Today, it's another win for the SLE reigning champions, and Vitagen goes 6-2 in this SLE season. And they're actually on 6-game winning streak, the longest active winning streak in SLE at the moment.
6-game winning streak, and we talk about the Vitagen dominance in the SLE, and it looks like that train has left the station as they go 6-2. They will sit as one of the highest standing teams in the SLE right now, and you can imagine looking at this game, this will now be the team to defeat. And moving forward, if you are Black Lotus, definitely not a game to be disheartened by. Gloomix and Missing Link in that last game, and Missing Link as a series whole, were fantastic. They had such good performances. And for Missing Link, you know, if you're watching here, walk away from this game with the utmost amount of confidence, because you came up against the SLE great. The top laner to beat was the narrative, and you know, I'm gonna say it, you dominated him. I think that was like 3 or 4 solo kills in the first game. So walk away with confidence, walk away with your heads high. This is not a team to be disappointed to lose to. What a series indeed. But I think Vitagen, what they showed here, Jomi and Dutch always at the heart of it, but a new name to enter the fray. Jomi has showed a carry threat. This man is now on the list for members to look out for. No longer on that Seraphine, now adding an Ezreal to that arsenal of champions that he can execute in the SLE, and showing why, once again, you don't just win SLE titles being a one-trick. Funnily enough, I said that, but...
Yeah, absolutely. I have to agree with you. And It's really between Dutch and Yomi here, but I think Yomi did what he needed to do. Okay, he wasn't a playmaker, but he dealt so much damage, and the bot lane was always dominating for the Vitagen side. So, yeah, I have to give him the MVP to the AD carry.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna give myself my MVP. No, not myself. I'm gonna give my MVP vote to Jeremy as well. I think, you know, as I mentioned earlier in the cast, this was a statement game from him because, you know, that was the story. He just plays Seraphine, banned Seraphine, bot lane's over. Not this time around, as Jeremy was the star of the show. Honorable mention to Dutch, and honorable mention as well to Missing Link for a great performance. But guys, for now, that concludes the games today. A 2-0 all across the board in both games, and I think one series definitely closer than the other. But the VODs will be uploaded on YouTube, so go check that out. Subscribe to the SLE YouTube channel. Hop into our Discord, enable your notifications, and find out exactly when all the games will be getting played. Join in the community. We've got SLE in houses to join in. If you need more information on that, message Itchy in the server. And thank you very much to my co-caster Savage for joining me for these exciting games. Big shout out to the best producer in the land, Pepper, for hosting this game today, this evening. And once again, thank you very much to everyone who tuned in and watched these fantastic little games. We will close this stream out for now, but keep your eyes peeled for any future games. And yeah, have a lovely Tuesday evening.